today we have the project management knowledge sharing for the one of the program from the PMI Indonesia chapter. So beside the pranks, we also have some other activity and program that we have, such as corporate outreach, where we visit the companies in Indonesia to share about the project management and our program. Also, we have project management workshop, scheduled training and in-house training for your project management needs. And also our biggest program is IMEX, 2024, that will be held in October, this year. So I think we can continue to the next session here. So let me share my screen again. Okay. Persuade. Okay. Okay, good morning again to everyone. Hope you in a good and healthy condition right now. So happy fasting also to all of you that currently fasting. So today we will have the project management knowledge sharing, agile portfolio management, transforming business strategies into client-centric outcomes. So here we have Aina. I will introduce her first. So this is her profile. Aina is an experienced agile coach and business consultant with more than 20 years of experience in different industry. She is also the founder and CEO of at the Agile Tutoring and CEO and VP of Marketing at the PMO community. Aina also has the Master in Electrical Engineering, Mgnt Technology, and also Marketing course from University of Pennsylvania. She is a keynote speaker in some of the topics related to agile, project management, negotiation, people management, and soft skill topics. Previously she became the guest instructor at NASA for the topic of conflict resolution and negotiation, and also facilitation technique. She also published some books. It Starts With You. Also, she featured in Forbes Council's Executive Library. So I think we can continue to hear to listen to her great presentation. But before that, I will inform you to some of our rules for this session. So all participants will be on mute and videos turned off. And if you have some question, you can submit it in the chat box. Our team will check it regularly. And after the presentation is finished, we will go to the question and answer session, and Aina will answer your question one by one. This session will also be recorded. The e-certificate will be distributed to all the participants who join this session, especially for the PMI Indonesia chapter member. You will get the PDU that you can claim for your PMI certification. For the PMI Indonesia chapter, the submission will be automatically submitted. And for the recording, it will be uploaded later to our YouTube channel The channel name is PMI University chapter. And last one is happy learning and give us feedback, yeah, for this session. So I think without further ado, I will hand over the session to Aina. The stage is yours, Aina.
Thank you very much, Siddiq, for the introduction. And I am so happy to present for Indonesian chapter, at least virtually. One day I will definitely visit Indonesia physically. And I am so happy that this Saturday morning, your time, and still Friday evening, my time in Toronto, we have almost 100 people coming to this session today. So let's get it started and let's have some fun. I am starting sharing my screen, and let me know if you can see it, if everything is fine. I can see in the chat, people are saying good morning. Good morning, everyone. So I think you guys are seeing it. So let's get it started. Again, as Siddiq just mentioned to us, we are on the session for today, Agile Portfolio Management, how to transform business strategies into client-centric outcomes. And the agenda for the next hour is, first of all, to learn what Agile Portfolio Management is, its key components, then initiative prioritization and decomposition process. So first of all, what is initiative? Let's talk about a vocabulary. Then how do we decompose it from the initiative level to capabilities and to feature and then to epic and stories and finally to the tasks if needs.
Sorry,
Also,
Aina, I think the presentation is still not visible to us.
Oh.
Can you try to reshare again?
Can you see it right now?
Not yet.
It says that I'm sharing. And by the way, Siddiq, if you shared something while you were talking, we also didn't see anything.
I think possible visible with me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
On
Sure.
participant, maybe if you want to
about
chat, is this already visible or not? Please chat right on the chat.
from my side?
Visible for
Yet.
me. Yeah. Thank you.
Visible from my side? I think not visible yet from the participant as well. Looks like.
Okay, I stopped sharing.
Perhaps you need to turn off focus mode. Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm trying again. I got a message. Your shared screen can be seen only by host and co-host.
Bang Ray, maybe you can check about it.
Already turned off.
Okay.
See it right now?
Focus mode is ending. Okay, now it's all good.
Fantastic. So
How
we
about
solved
everyone?
And meanwhile, 15 other people joined. So let's start over again. So what we are going to talk about today, as I mentioned before, is what Agile Portfolio Management is about, the key components, the initiative prioritization and decomposition. Also, what is Agile Portfolio Management, Kanban, its workflow, what value statement card is, how to submit a value statement card, strategy decomposition, and executive group ceremonies, and the process itself. So let's get it started with the definition of Agile Portfolio Management. And I hope my slides are moving while I'm talking. If not, just send a message on chat. Thank you, Siddiq. You are showing thumbs up. Again, guys, if you don't see it, okay, all good. Thank you very much. So continuing. Agile portfolio management. So it's a process and also a way of managing collection of projects or initiatives in a flexible and responsive manner. So let's look at the example. Let's say we work for one of the IT company or a bank company. And we used to plan for 2019 and 2020 and 2021 that people are going to come to our bank like 50% physically, 50% connect us online via phone or via online banking. And we had many projects planned ahead for like 3 or 5 years, because that's normally how the business works. To be sustainable, we need to plan ahead of time. And then you know what happened at the beginning of 2020, COVID. So the banks locked down and they moved 100% to online services for the next 2 years, at least in Canada. So the projects they were planning for on-site clients, they needed to be prioritized as soon as possible. And they needed more projects for online banking. But if the projects are in a pure waterfall, so it takes years to reprioritize the projects. Or if we start the project, we spend so much time in planning, so we need to continue with that. And then we deliver the project and appeared, nobody needs this project anymore. If we started the project in 2019 and deliver it by the end of 2020, it's COVID, time changes, people don't come to the banks. So that's where Agile portfolio management is coming. So we can be flexible in our heavy lifted organizations, and we continuously review and adjust the organization work based on current priorities, based on our available resources, and the changing needs of the market or customers. And instead of setting a fixed plan, and again, I'm not against of waterfall or fixed planning, it's very helpful for projects we really know that our customer wants, or something what's been in the market for years or thousands of years, like physical projects like houses, bridges, etc. But if there are some ambiguity, so fixed plan probably for a long period is not the best idea. And Agile portfolio management also helps us to focus on adapting to change, to learn from the results, and make decisions quickly to ensure that portfolio always aligns with the organization goals. So that's what Agile portfolio management is. And it's not something new, it's not something I created by myself. Agile portfolio management is represented in SAFe. It was in early versions, but SAFe 6.0 also emphasized the portfolio management. So if you are curious, just go to the scaleagileframework.com. Here is link here at the bottom of the picture, and you can learn more about SAFe and business agility. This webinar is to show you how we adapted it in the organization I currently work on and in a few previous organizations. So few comments about the SAFe presentation. So they have organizational agility on the top. They have lean portfolio management, where they have subject matter experts like epic owners, enterprise architects, and other people leading it. Agile product delivery, which consists of business owners, and also business owners as stakeholders collaborate with product management, system architect, and release train engineer. And under the Agile product delivery, we have teams and technical agility. And in teams, we have a product owner, a scrum master, team coach, agile coach, and the delivery team themselves, such as developers, testers, and whoever else we need for the team, like business analysts, designers, engineers. And all of this is merging business and technology. Again, from my personal experience, I found out that in some organizations which been running for like many years or even few centuries, business and technologies are going apart, and they always fight because they have conflicting priorities, and they try to push the requirements on each other, or they simply don't speak the common language and don't understand each other. So, for example, if the business people don't really speak technical language, so the product manager can come to the clients and ask about the requirements, like we are developing an online banking website. And the client might say that I want this website to be launched quickly because I lose patience looking how the page is keep loading and loading. And if business person doesn't speak technical language, they take this requirement. So customer want it quickly. So, and come to the developer or technical lead and deliver this requirement. And if you are a technical person, or if you worked with technical people, you know what the answer is going to be. Like quickly means what? It means 5 seconds. It means 3 seconds. It means 10 seconds. What are your requirements? What do you want from me, basically? I don't know. And this is where the conflict starts, when people don't speak the same language. So business person needs to come to the client again and clarify how many seconds they need, and then come back to the developer. But it's just one question. We have numerous questions in our technical specification, and if the collaboration is going to be this way, so the technical person is going to be annoyed, like, and feel that the business person doesn't do their job properly. And also the business person will be annoyed by a technical person because technical people make them come back and forth to the clients, and then clients lose their patience and go to our competitors. So all of this leads for conflict between business and technology. But in Agile and in SAFe, business and technology are part of the one process. They are not going like this, they are going hand by hand. And if it's not happening, this is our job as Agile coaches or Agile evangelists, whoever you have in your organization, to merge this and make sure that there is at least one business representative and at least one technical representative in the team. And these people, they speak each other's language, they understand each other, and they can lead the team to success. And that's why here in SAFe, we have mainly product owner, scrum master, or team coach. But in my organization, we have tripod, and team coach is not in this tripod. We have scrum master, we have product owner, and technical lead, the tripod, because these three people are the leaders. Product owner represents business, tech lead represents technology, and scrum master helps to organize the process. And these three people, they go together and they lead the team to success. So that's how SAFe sees the Agile portfolio management. Again, lots of items here. I highly recommend to go through all of them to review what vision is, what OKRs are, roadmaps, how artificial intelligence is aligned with this model. But we are going to continue with the key components of APM and how we can translate strategy into outcomes. Now, first of all, client insights. So it means we continually gather and steer in the customer experience and make it into the strategy to ensure that our focus is remaining on client-centric solutions. So client is always the first. Again, no matter how good the project can be, how brilliant the solution can be, how great it can be executed, how much time we're going to spend, like how much ahead of time, how much less budget. But if at the end nobody is using this project, what is the purpose of it? What is the value of it? So client-centric solutions always first to gather the feedback as soon as possible. Is it something what we are working on are going to fit for our client needs, and is it the market demand? Continuous portfolio prioritization. Here we implement portfolio at various levels on delivery model, again, to ensure that the most impactful outcomes drive the prioritization of high value initiatives, business capabilities, and product features into something what our clients are going to use, and also talking business language, what our clients are going to pay for. Next key component, business outcomes. So business outcomes defined by our leadership team to prioritize the right value for clients and align the organization's effort accordingly. So I already mentioned many times that if clients don't want our products, there is no point to deliver them on time and with less budget. And design and delivery. So this key component ensures alignment of delivery with evolving business strategies and outcomes to keep our journey and platforms. And if you are not familiar with these terms, we are going to spend more time on the vocabulary. But for now, to keep our teams on the different level to focus on delivering optimum value for our clients. So these are key 4 components. Again, client insights, continuous portfolio prioritization, business outcomes, and design and delivery. Moving on, let's compare portfolio management and traditional portfolio management. So in traditional portfolio management, we focus on time scheduled, which is fine. Again, nothing is wrong with traditional portfolio management. In Agile portfolio management, we are focusing on value delivered. So again, if we know specifically what we are working on, like construction building, like building which is going to serve different offices. So focus on value delivered obviously makes sense, but focus on time scheduled. We know exactly what we are working on. So it makes sense, the traditional approach here. Everything is a priority. So kind of tricky, everything cannot be the priority. The priority loses its sense when we mark everything as it. But in Agile portfolio management, we are focusing our priority on the value delivered to the customer. In traditional portfolio management, locked in scope and delivery date compared to Agile portfolio management, where we leverage change to hit the mark. Again, if we are building a construction for like car manufacturing, or again, for the offices, locked in scope and delivery date is fine. If we are working on the, let's say, technical product like application and delivering like some features related to the bugs in this current application. So for example, we are using Zoom right now, and Zoom has many different features. So we cannot make everything as a priority, and we can be locked in scope and delivery date. We need to leverage the change to hit the mark. Traditional project management, locked in the early estimation, compared to Agile portfolio management, where continuous estimation of changing work is the approach. And we are locked in annual planning and annual funding in traditional portfolio management. But in Agile portfolio management, we have continuous rolling wave planning and incremental funding of highest value outcome. And the last point, milestones are defined as work delivered in traditional portfolio management. And in Agile portfolio management, milestones are defined as quantifiable values delivered. So to summarize, nothing wrong in traditional portfolio management. Is just used for something is known and something is predictable. Agile portfolio management is working mainly for technological project, because in technology, we never know what our customers would want at the end, or what bugs we are going to deliver, and how fast and how many bugs we are going to have, and how fast we are going to solve them. So that is the differences. And my promised vocabulary for you guys. So I mentioned words such as initiatives, journeys, platforms, also value statement cards. So let's see what it means. So the initiative is kind of equivalent of the project, but the project is already defined. An initiative starts as the idea of doing something differently. So it starts as an idea. If we are using the Kanban board, it starts in the funnel, and then when committed for implementation, it becomes clearer and more specific capabilities. So again, initiative is a high-level idea of what we are going to work on. So for example, let's switch our security system, because there is a new tool came to the market, and this tool is way better, and we are using old school tools, so why not to utilize this tool? So that's the level of initiative. Are we clear on what we are going to do? No, not yet. If I am a technical lead and you ask me to switch to another tool, my first question would be why are we doing it? Where is the business analysis? What are the benefits? What are the alternatives? So that's how initiative initiates, but then we need to define the states, and this is where value statement cards come to our perspective. So in value statement cards, we are defining the information like who is going to work on the initiative, what exactly we are doing, again, who is responsible for that, and possible house of the idea. And if you use Jira, like we use in my organization, so all of this is documented in Jira and follows from different columns. When value statement card is defined, the initiative is broken down into smaller parts, which can be called capabilities. So if I say, I want to switch to another tool, let's say Splunk, so that is the initiative, capability is going to be, so let's define our current processes and see what we can still utilize, and then another capability is going to be the changes in the processes. And again, it's very high level explanation. And then these capabilities are going to be broken down into features and lower levels. But here where the journey comes from. So initiative, again, it's a high level for business sponsor, business executive. So this level of people. Journeys are more granular exercise, and by journey we mean different level of execution group, meaning if initiative was VP and senior VP level, journey is a social VP or other subject matters who are already focusing on the implementation, not on the strategy, but implementation of these initiatives. So they work on the design and also complete the design for end-to-end sponsor, and they work with clients. They work on the client surveys and also advisor experiences. If you have specific project for advisors, this is an example from my organization. So we might change the onboarding approach. We might change the client awareness approach. And this is a level where journeys are crafting the end-to-end experience from the sponsor level to the client. Platforms. Platforms also kind of similar level of the journeys, like similar SMEs, but if journeys are focusing mainly on the design, like the front end, working with clients, platforms are serving to deliver business solutions and mainly like supporting the services, supporting the capabilities, like more focusing on the technical side. And if the example for journeys could be like onboarding process, advisors awareness, clients awareness. For the platform, the focus might be like CRM, payments, API management, security. So you see like more back-end, more technical stuff here. So that is the difference. And if you have the questions, I can spend more time a little bit later on that. And I see one question here. Based on your presentation, does this imply that Agile is the evolution of Lean principles? So thank you for your response. So quickly coming back to the Agile management approach. So Agile is the umbrella of the different frameworks and principles, and Lean principles are part of this umbrella. But it's not just framework, it's also the mindset itself and the methodology. So Agile definition is very broad, is an umbrella for principles, mindset, and methodology. And evolution of Lean principles, yes, Lean principles definitely evolved, and this is a part of the Agile. So hope I responded to your question. So I will proceed with the presentation. I just wanted to pause here because it was related to Agile. And then I will address the questions later when I am done. So that was the first part, like the intro. Now we are going to the meat of the presentation, the initiative, prioritization, and the decomposition process. So it's going to be huge. So first of all, to decompose and prioritize initiatives, we need to establish the portfolio itself. We need to have a group of people who are going to do the work, who are going to do the strategy. And how we establish portfolio? So we do the snapshot of current state processes, channels, roles, and we form the initiative backlog based on that and invite the SMEs who are going to help us to evaluate that. Initiatives in Agile portfolio management funnel. So again, if you use a Jira, you will have special columns like funnel analysis, in progress, done, etc. So when initiative is entering the Agile portfolio management funnel, it transitioning from the concept to committed work based on our stage of requirements and objective key results. So the APM triage team, which I already mentioned briefly, people like vice presidents, associate vice president, IT subject matter expert, business subject matter expert, maybe architectural subject matter expert, depends on the organization. And the Agile Portfolio Management Board, they oversee this process. And then this committed work, it moves to the journeys or platforms, and this is where the actual execution starts. So on the journey or platform level, it's crafted into smaller, more feasible parts, and we call them features. And these features are going through the feature backlog refinement for the journey, for example, digital client experience journey, or platform feature backlog refinement if we are working on the platform level. So for example, like system admin platform. And then these initiatives are broken down by the collaborative efforts by journey leadership team and or platform leadership team if they work together on end-to-end experience and on the technical side. And the results are breaking down from initiatives and capability and then features. And then these features are pulled to the respective journey feature backlog or platform feature backlog. And then we have delivery teams under the journey or under the platform. And then these features are going to their backlog. I will stop on that a little bit later. Again, I know lots of information if you are hearing the first time, but let's make it a little bit more visual as a funnel. So again, I just spoke about it here, but the same information on a different perspective. So portfolio establishment. So first, we need a strategy group because we cannot execute until we clarify the strategy. And our strategy is based on current state processes. So as a coach, I do the current snapshot of the situation, so where we are, and then the future state, where we are going to be or where do we want to be. And then all of this initiative, APM portfolio management prioritization, is to help us to navigate from where we are to where we want to be. Now, on the APM funnel, when initiative is entering it, the Agile portfolio management triage team is doing the assessment and prioritization and give the initiative go or non-go to the execution. And if it goes to the execution, it appears on the journey or platform a backlog, and they are crafting it into the smaller features, which are entering the delivery team backlog, and the team starts actually working on delivery. So numerous steps from the strategy and initiation to finally when the developers start working manually, start writing code and deliver our idea to our customers. What is Agile Portfolio Kanban? So Agile Portfolio Kanban helps us to visualize the flow of initiative from the initiation or inception of the idea to the commitment of delivery. So all big ideas are welcomed to the Portfolio Kanban. Again, unlike some traditional organizations where only VP level or associate VP level can bring up the ideas, in Agile portfolio management, anyone can submit their idea if they feel it's valuable, because VP level, they are too high. They are working on different processes. They are collaborating with different stakeholders. They might not see the pain of the customers, and they're too busy to go to the customer, to go to the person who entered our bank, if we are talking about the bank organization, and know their pain and to learn about their pain. We have other managers or other people in the leadership who are doing this work. But developers are also coding the work, so they might have ideas on how to make the product better. So anyone is welcomed to submit their idea, and it comes to the first stage of the panel, where our strategy group is doing the priority and triage of these ideas. And initiative, all of the initiatives start as the idea and the funnel, and then they move from one column to another. Again, if you are using a Kanban board or if you are using Jira, and when committed for implementation, these initiatives are aligned to the journeys or the platforms. So that's how portfolio Kanban is described by SAFE, and the picture was taken from Scaled Agile, and you can find it on their website. So as I keep mentioning, we have a funnel column where all big ideas are welcomed. And what we mean by these ideas, so it can be new business opportunities. These ideas might be related to cost savings or marketplace changes or mergers and acquisitions or problems with existing solutions. And then when the idea is submitted, it goes to the review stage where we are going through the hypothesis statement and refine understanding of it, calculate weighted shortlist job, and set up the work in progress limits. And when we review it and it gets the initial improvements, we are starting to analyze it. We start solutioning alternatives. We go through the lean business case and finally give the go or non-go decision. And then it gets to agile release train, where the portfolio backlog starts working on it, and then we got through the implementing stage, meaning giving it to the team to start coding. A little bit more details on what is happening on each of the stages, such as funnel, initiating the idea, then review the idea, then analyzing the idea, then when it gets to portfolio backlog, and what happened when it is in progress. So in the funnel stage, you see that the work is still uncommitted. It's just the idea, and all big ideas are welcomed here. So I already mentioned what kind of ideas could be like cost saving opportunities, market changes, problems with existing solutions, etc. When it gets to the review stage, it's a light touch. So we are determining the priority. We create value statement. We confirm the alignment on the strategic theme. We confirm the business commitment, and we also refine the understanding. And if it's approved during the light touch, because sometimes it's clear that this initiative might be great, but it's definitely not a priority for the next 2 years. Or sometimes that this initiative doesn't serve our business purposes or any other reason. So if it's seen during the light touch, why to spend more time analyzing that? But if we see that this initiative has a potential, it comes to the deep dive to the analysis stage. And here, initiative lean business case created with cost and effort estimate. So we define the success criteria. We have a high-level discussion on the area of impact and the value of it. We refine the priority, and then we deliver the final decision of go or non-go. So if it's a green light, it's approved and going to the portfolio backlog. Is it non-go? So definitely nothing is happening with it, just stays maybe for the future priorities, or if we decide not to go with it at all, it's just marked as done and we never come back to it. But if it's go, it's in a portfolio backlog, and it means it's been approved by the execution group, and continuous prioritization and crafting is going to happen on the journey and platform level. So when it moves to journey and platform, it moves to the executing part, but also non-execution is happening without planning. So planning execution is going together. So ownership transitions to journey or platform leadership. This leadership, they begin delivery roadmap planning, and initiative tracking is continuous. And also we don't need to forget about work in progress limits. Otherwise, we will keep receiving initiatives and don't have capacity to execute them. As I mentioned on the first slide, Agile portfolio management includes the flexibility, but also a realistic view on the priorities and resource capacities. So work in progress limit is a key in Agile to make sure that we are not just starting doing work, we are finishing what we started as well. So lots of information, but we keep going. Again, when I will pause, you will be able to ask your questions, and you will receive the slides after the presentation. So if you're first time hearing about Agile portfolio management and it's hard for you to catch up, you will be able to review the recording and the slides later. So let's talk about policies and the status in each of the funnels. So how can we define that we are done reviewing it on the review stage and it's ready to move to the analysis? And also, what is the exit criteria for moving it to the portfolio backlog? How do we know that it's ready for the journeys to pick it up? And the same, how do we know that it's ready for the delivery team to pick it up? So let's view from the funnel to done. Like typical steps, and again, you might have different columns in your Kanban board if you're using it, but this is like the typical stages each initiative should be moved on. So first funnel, then we review it, then analyze, then it gets to the portfolio backlog, then it gets to the alignment, and then finally it's done. So to get to the funnel, we just need an initiative title and few sentences to describe what this initiative is about. To be moved to review, we need to assign a business sponsor to it. So the person who is going to support the initiative or who is asking for this to be done. Then we start reviewing it. So what do we need to start review? We need to know who is responsible for it. We need to know the title and the name of the business sponsor. And during the review, the work is going to be done, which is who, what, and why are interested in this initiative, the related strategic theme on the objective key results. If you are not familiar with the term objective key results, it's evolution of KPI. And again, to explain it on the very high level, it's the inspirational aspirations of the organization for the next year or for the next few years. So what we want to achieve. It's not just the list of tasks, it's something. For example, we want to be on the top 3 market share organizations by the end of 2024. So this is the example of the objective. So our initiative needs to match our strategic theme or the objective key results, and it is understood as a high level on how this initiative maps to documented strategies. So we need to have areas of impact in our scope, and out of the scope, what won't be impacted, or like outcome hypothesis, what we think will happen. So that's what we need to complete before starting analyzing. And while we're completing it, we're documenting all of this in the initiative value statement card, which I'm going to show you how it looks on the next slide. So to start analyzing, we need to document all of the exit criteria from the review stage in the initiative value statement card, and it needs to be completed. And during the analysis stage, the lean initiative business case is completed, so meaning the detailed analysis is completed, and the go or non-go decision is made. And if go decision is made, it goes to portfolio backlog, and here lean initiative business case is complete, go non-go decision is done, and the work is done under the portfolio backlog column is initiative has been approved for investment based on the project business value, and journey and or platform capacity is such that new capabilities can be developed. And if all of this is approved and done, initiative is moving to the platform alignment. And what work is done here is that initiative has been decomposed into capabilities and features, and then aligned with respective journey or platform backlogs. And capabilities and features are delivered by journey and platform delivery teams. And to make sure that they are delivered properly, we need to make sure that the acceptance criteria and definition of done is created, and to mark it done, it needs to be met. So these are the policies and the flow and decomposition from the initiative to smaller tasks. Now, as I promised, how the lean business case is looked like. So first, we are forming the hypothesis statement, and that is an example from the scale agile, so very simple. So for whom? Who are our customers? Who are we serving? So who is doing the work itself? And the solution. So what is the problem and what we are solutioning, how our hypothesis is going to help our customers. So something for how, and that, so what is the provided value, and also some competitor analysis. So unlike the current solution or unlike our competitors, so what value we are providing, so a little bit deep depth on the provided value. And then the solution itself, so why we are doing it and how this is going to impact. More detailed lean business case. If you're interested, I know that the picture is not really clear, so you can download it from the Scaled Agile framework using this link. It's free there. I will show you what we use in my previous organization. So basically very similar to what Scaled Agile is proposed. So we have it like funnel entry date. So when the initiative was submitted, when we need to start it tracking, the owner or like the business owner, if you use the terminology from my previous slides, who are the key stakeholders, what is the description, what are the business outcome hypotheses, what are our leading indicators, so establishing some metrics on how are we going to track our success, what is in scope, what is outside of scope, what are non-functional requirements, and if we have minimum viable product features, maybe if we need some additional potential features, and also the summary of the analysis and go on go decision. In my current organization, we are using Jira. So we are using this template such as initiative name, then Jira link where it was submitted, who was the requester, who is the sponsor, how high is it on the priority, and by priority we mean high, medium, or low. Then the implementation date, was it a client request or is it something internal? What is our problem statement and what is the vision statement? So you see different templates, but the same meaning to identify the initiative, priority, and definitely the value for our customer. So I kept telling you that we need to decompose from initiatives and capabilities and features. So now we are seeing it on the visual slides and kind of a bit of the deadlines on the process. So if we are talking about the strategic theme, like the North Star, so the North Star we are planning to achieve in like 2 to 3 years or 24 or 36 months. And this North Star is broken down into initiative. And the initiative is something big which can be achieved within like 1.5 years approximately. And this is happening on the portfolio backlog. When initiative is decomposed to capability, so if we mention capability, we have like 6 to 9 months number in our mind of completion of the capability. And then the capability is broken down to the feature, and the feature needs to be completed within 3 months. If we estimate that the feature is going to take longer than 3 months, so it's either the capability or we need to break this feature down into smaller features, because we are using the increment planning, which are happening every quarter. So within the next 3 months, we need to deliver few features, and the maximum size is 3 months. So again, if it's more than 3 months, if it's 4 or 5 months, as an Agile coach, I highly recommend Journey platform to break it down into a smaller part. And then the features are delivered to the squads, and they break it down into epics, which is up to 2 months. And then we break epic down into stories, which are up to 2 weeks. And again, 2 weeks is the maximum. As a coach, I highly against of making stories 2 weeks. I help the team to break them down into at least 3 or 5 days. So that is the decomposition and how we are working on the strategy level. Another big topic and the final topic of today, so bear with me. So we are having the portfolio backlog, and here the item of that is our strategic theme. So here on the slide, strategic theme, or our North Star, which is aligned to our objective key results. So it means who are we building this for, and why are we building this, and time horizon, like aspirational next 2 to 3 years, and who is owning this, the execution group. And the example of the North Star can be growing market share by establishing company X as an industry leader in digital capabilities and service offering. And the example of the initiative to standardize retirement services across both web and mobile platforms to improve service accessibility and client experience. Then, when it's broken down to the capability, so you saw the term 3 to 9 months horizon, and the example of that can be, so we spoke about web and mobile platforms to improve service accessibility, but on the capability level, let's just focus on the retirement platform, and let's create mobile enrollment in refinement products and services. But this is also not enough to start working on it. We need to break it down into smaller pieces. So let's say that we have 4 squads under our platform. And for this specifically squad number 4, let's make them focus on product enrollment and payroll contribution to raise the election. And when the squad starts working on one of these features, they might say that the epic is going to be to plan enrollment display screen. So that's an example of the decomposition. I will pause here in case you would like to observe the slide and take a chance to sip some water. And let's move on to the ceremonies. So as I mentioned, we have strategy group, we have execution group, we have client journey platform group, and we have the squads. So strategy group, they have annual or biannual cadences for their ceremonies, and they basically establish the North Star and multi-year roadmap. And then they deliver this roadmap to the execution group, and execution group are going through numerous ceremonies, such as the execution group planning ceremony, execution group quarterly review, execution group retrospective, execution group sync, and Agile portfolio management preparation. So you see the ceremonies are happening from annual to weekly level, and annual level is the planning, where they establish long-term strategic alignment, including operations, also architecture, technology, and define the group's mind to long-term objective and key results. On the quarterly level, they do the PI planning, which I already mentioned. So they measure objective key results and overview of burn rate and spending of block funding and leadership discussion. Retrospective. So we need to reflect on what's been done during the quarter and how can we be better the next quarter. So that's what the execution group retrospective means. Group think, we need to align on our vision and also review the risks and issues, review the initiative portfolio board, and solve ad hoc issues. So this happens every 2 weeks. And Agile portfolio management, the preparation to discuss value statement card, business case development progress, and impediments. So all of this, which we were reviewing in my previous slides. So these meetings are happening weekly on the execution group level. Journey and business platform level, what these people do. Very similar to execution group, but more frequent. So they have journey or platform sync, very similar to execution group sync, where they also speak about risk dependencies and delivery of the capabilities and features. And this is happening weekly. OKR review, so how we are aligned with our execution with the strategy group. So this meeting is also happening monthly. Capability and OKR refinement, because we are not standing at the same pace. The environment around us is changing, the priorities are changing, so we need to refine OKRs no matter how good we identify them. So this is also happening on the monthly guidance and retrospective. As an execution group, we also need to review on the past and make sure that we are going to do better in the future. And on the squad level, daily stand-up, where we discuss on the progress and impediments, sprint planning, backlog refinement, demo and reviews, where we show to our stakeholders the work's been done, and again, retrospective, review the past and look into the future. And the final slide. So all of these processes are combined together from the initiation to approved. So who are doing what? So on the intake funnel, we have Agile portfolio management team, which is journey platform, or if we have hubs underneath tripods, they are meeting weekly and they triage new lean value cards and move them to review. And at the end, they produce business lean and value card. And on the review, again, who are these people? The execution group, again, journey platform hub, tripods, and business initiative leaders and support team. They're meeting bi-weekly and the review and the prioritize lean value cards. And as a result of their work is the execution group approval of new strategic ideas and lean business cases, which are moved to the backlog. On the analysis stage, execution group is done. So journey and platform teams are on the stage right now, and they work on the business initiative and with the help of the support teams and the stakeholders. And this meeting is happening bi-weekly, and the result of that, the lean business case is refined, additional funding approved, and execution group approved and prioritized. And then it moves to the squads, where journey leaders, key stakeholders, and partners are working on the backlog. They are meeting quarterly for the product increment planning. And as a result of their work is prioritized feature wish list, which is coming to the squads, and squads can tell the leaders if they have enough capacity and if they see the sense of going through all of these features. So the squads are meeting for quarterly planning and sprint planning and weekly things, where they evaluate this feature wish list. And as a result, they have crafted the acceptance criteria for capabilities and features, and their warranty is completed, and they're ready for execution during the next quarter. And finally, approved. So initiative, business leads, and journey and tripods and squads are aligning on the acceptance criteria. They are meeting for quarterly demo, quarterly review, and the sprint demo. And when they show the work or when they show their progress, they gather the feedback from the stakeholders. And if the stakeholders are satisfied, the acceptance criteria is met, the feature is finally done and deployed for our customers, and us as the customers are able to use it and provide the feedback and to start the cycle over. And that is the end of my presentation. Hope you got valuable information and wasn't bored, and happy to answer your questions. You are mute, Siddiq. Would it help if I stop sharing?
Please unmute, Mr. Siddiq.
Already unmute.
Oh, we can hear you now. Try again, Siddiq. Now you are mute.
Thank you, Aina, for your insightful presentation. So now we can go to the chat, yeah, to check about the some of the question here. So first one, I think we have from Aviana. How companies will succeed more quickly by creating teams that can work together?
Together, everyone achieves miracle.
Yeah, maybe you can address that first, maybe Aina.
Yes, I am just trying to understand, is it really a question or is it a statement? Aviana, could you expand a little bit more on this?
Let me check. While waiting, I think we can continue to the second one, yeah, Aina. So I think we have Pak Brian opinion, yeah. Do you want about the traditional portfolio management, also not bound by time delivery, but also by value and organizational strategies? So I think it's related to the slide where you compare between traditional and agile portfolio management.
Yes, and thank you for the comment, Brian. Yes, absolutely. Traditional project management is also driven by value and strategies. But unfortunately, when we spend so much planning ahead, it's stuck in its bureaucracy and focusing mainly on the time and budget, and many times we forget about the value, or even if we remember about the value and the strategies, it's been planned for a few years ahead. And again, due to the bureaucracy, we cannot move out of that. And that is the difference, because in Agile, we meet every week, as I mentioned in my slides, or every month, and review the strategy and reprioritize. And we break down our work into smaller increments. So even if we stuck with delivering the feature for the next 3 months, next 3 months is not 3 years. So it's easier to move on. And that is the main difference.
Okay, sure. Okay, so then we go to the next question from Dave. I think it's already being addressed. Yeah. And then we go to the next question by Gaurav. As the hybrid approaches in project management are becoming more prevalent, how does agile project management aligns with it?
That's a great question. Thank you, Gaurav. So my personal view, Agile portfolio management is already a kind of a hybrid, because as you notice, we still have planning. We have initiatives, but initiatives is kind of a high-level theme for the project, and then the feature itself is a 3 months project. So you can see some waterfall-ish approach to align all the features in advance, to provide the feature wish list, and then the teams start working on these features, and we do 3 months planning. But also what we took from Agile here, it's easier to pivot because we plan for 3 months only, not for the year. We don't allocate a yearly budget, we allocate for the next 3 months. And we also can pivot even during the quarter, despite the fact that people don't like doing that. And it happened a few times that the features were canceled just a few days before quarterly planning. And we still were able to plan successfully the new work which was coming, just based on the client feedback. So client feedback and prioritization based on the client feedback is what was taken from Agile. So that's kind of hybrid of both worlds.
Sure, yeah. I think Agile portfolio management cater to the organizational needs, yeah, where right now we need to adapt to the changes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Aina, for the answer. Then we go to the next question from Ayang. How do you measure the success and ROI of Agile portfolio management initiatives in the context of business strategy transformation? And also, can you share examples of successful Agile portfolio management implementation and their impact?
Yeah, absolutely. So in my current and in my previous organization, everybody is happy about Agile portfolio implementation, first of all, because an example, if I'm a developer and I have an idea, I need to talk to my product owner or to my manager, and then my manager speaks to their manager, and then their manager speaks to VP, and VP consider if they want to implement the idea or not. But most of the time, managers don't have technical background. And I am a developer. I might have people and communication skills, but sometimes if I spent like 15 years coding, sometimes I don't know that my manager doesn't understand my development language clearly. And when I explain it to the manager might not get the idea. And how can I be sure that the manager is talking to their manager about that? Or maybe my manager just told me, yes, I'm going to think about that, and then forgot in the next 5 minutes because they didn't understand. And it takes a long time, even if you convince your manager, and then your manager convinced their manager, but it wasn't your manager idea initially, it was yours. And so moving through these different stages, it takes first long time, and second, many brilliant ideas were lost, and unfortunately some organizations failed just because they didn't hear the employees. With implementation of Agile portfolio management, it's an equality. Everyone can submit the idea into funnel. So I don't need to go through the layers as a developer. I just create a lean value card and submitted it, and then it's prioritized on the same level of attention and urgency like any other ideas. And since in the triage team, we have technical subject matter experts, we have business subject matter experts, so they know what I am talking about, and it's easier to be prioritized, and value could be brought to the customers. So I hoped I answered the part of how share examples that successful Agile portfolio management and the impact. So another part, how do you measure the success and ROI of Agile portfolio management initiative in the context of business strategy transformation? So this is where the objective key results are coming, and we create the objectives for the next year. again, let's say to be the top 5 companies in the market share, and then how our initiatives are aligned to these OKRs. So would this idea help us to achieve our goal, and what is going to be return on investment? So we create business case, and funds and everything else is calculated, and we also talk about the urgency of the idea, and we do the retrospective in the end of the quarter. And when we deliver this feature by the end of the quarter and gather the feedback of the customers, we can clearly say, was the investment worth on it or not? Hope I answered.
Sure. Okay. Thank you for your answer, Aina. So I think we have several other questions here. Next one from Setiawan. What is the challenge of implementing the Agile portfolio program project management? Yeah, I think this consists also for the portfolio. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. A great question. I feel like we need another webinar on that because there are so many challenges. First of all, if people are working in the traditional ways, it's change management. So any new way of work or any new feature we try to implement is, or any restructure we are trying to do in the organization is a change management. And people by nature don't like changes. So resistance from the upper management, resistance from the team level. So that is one of the biggest challenges. Another challenge is the restructure, the hierarchical restructure. Because if you are in the traditional organization, you don't have journeys, you don't have platforms, you don't have hubs. And why we have so many? Why we don't have just journey and the squad underneath? Because we have people in this middle management, and first of all, they don't want to lose their positions, and they feel threatened that the new requirements are coming, they might be obsolete, they've been waterfall, and now we are talking about agile. So they try to oppose these changes. But even if they feel protected, if the organization wants to keep them, what happened in a few organizations I've been working on, nobody was fired, nobody was laid off. The organization wanted to keep their talents, they just wanted to retrain them. That is a challenge, to retrain people, to explain them their new roles, their new responsibilities. And not many people like these changes as well. So if the person was a senior project manager, so what is the closest role to this level? So it's either to be a people manager or a scrum master, which is different from project management, but that is a more or less realistic way to transition. But to be transited to a scrum master role, you need to have a totally different mindset. You need to have agile mindset. You need to be servant leader instead of managing the team like from the top. And it takes lots of time to retrain people. So that's another challenge. One more challenge here, the hierarchical approach. Not many people are used to that now we are all equal, like the VP is equal to the developer, and the developer can come to Agile portfolio management session and submit their idea. And also, not all the developers are used to that. They still feel like, oh, that is a VP, and who am I to bring the idea? So to summarize, it takes few years to implement agile portfolio management in a large enterprise, just due to human nature of resisting to change and go through all of these processes, like deny the change, then be angry about the change, then accept the change, and then finally perform with the change.
Okay, so absolutely it takes organizational transformation to so that organization can achieve the value of agile portfolio management. Okay, so then let's go to the next question. I think this is coming from Haikal. Hi, I want to ask if you have any suggestion on running the weekly sync sprints meetings. As a context, I try to implement weekly sync, but it tend to turn into a deep dive discussion on specific topics instead of aligning on weekly tasks. So I think it's more practical question.
Yes, great question, Hekal. So first of all, we need to make sure that there is a facilitator of this sync. And the facilitator needs to be very strict on the time box. So for example, if you have a 30 minutes meeting, it needs to stay for 30 minutes. And you need to have a clear agenda on what you're going to talk to. Is it like a daily stand-up, what's been done yesterday, what is going to be done today or tomorrow? And if you have any impediments, make sure that people are standing on these topics and to provide ground rules first. Like, this is our agenda. These are the questions on what you guys need to talk about. If we start solutioning or if we start bringing up problems, as a facilitator, I will interrupt you and place your solution or your problem on the parking lot, and then we might have another meeting to solution in your parking lot. So you need to be clear so people know that it's not you being rude, it's just the rules of this meeting, and you will feel better to interrupting people later because they still will try to solution. And also, when the team gets the cadence and understanding of your ground rules, you might try to assign other people to help you to facilitate, so they would feel how it feels to be a facilitator and interrupt and make sure that people are stick with the agenda. So when they get back to their normal role, they would already know the other side, and they will respect your effort and also try to manage their attention to like solution or start talking about something outside of the agenda.
Okay, sure. I think that is answering the question from Haikal. Yeah. So I think we go to the next question from Albert. When do we use the Agile program project management? What advantage this program if we compare to other programs? I think this is already discussed in the presentation. Do you want to address this as well, Aina?
I think if the question is the other program, meaning by traditional program management that was addressed, if you mean something else, some specific programs, Albert, feel free to specify it in the next comment.
Okay, sure. Then I think for the next comment and question, so this is from Hadi. It seems to me that the APM works perfectly for IT or digital initiative projects. Would you share if any non-IT projects which have implemented successfully the APM? Maybe this refers to the non-IT or non-technology company where they implement the APM and they have successfully achieved their objective. Aina.
Yeah, absolutely. I think like construction or agriculture or any companies like that. So you are totally right, Heidi. APM started with IT projects, and it's very easy to implement with IT projects, which are unpredictable, and we need to gather customer feedback as soon as possible. For non-IT projects, if you are running with traditional project management and it runs well, why not to continue? Why to change something what works well? If you see first, if it's non-IT problem, so if it's non-IT project, so what is the problem? Do we have many conflicting priorities? If we do, yes, Agile portfolio management might work. Do we have many conflicting small projects? Yes, this will also work to prioritize this project. And also, yes, it's work for IT, but now IT is integrating in almost all fields. So even if we are talking about agriculture, there definitely going to be IT part in the agriculture. if we are talking about engineering, like electrical engineering, power plants, so there are operational departments which operates using IT technology. Nobody is going manually on the field to switch the a vacuum or any other equipment there. You're doing it using the technology from your desk inside your office. So it might be partly working for your IT department. But again, to give you an example of successfully implemented, I was helping one of the startups, and it was related to parking lots. So they had many small projects and many clients, and initially they built parking lots on the same manner. But then appeared that different client had different priorities, and the client needs the individual approach. So for example, the parking lot for the offices was totally different than the parking lot for the factory outside of the city. And that's why they had conflicts with their clients, because they had fixed scope and fixed contract, and the clients weren't happy about that. So implementing Agile portfolio management and listing all of the initiatives, and also using the client-centric approach and implementing the feedback and changing from a fixed contract to a variable contract. It changed them to gain more clients and to dominate other niches even outside of built-in parking lots.
Sure, interesting. So I think here in Indonesia we have some um, big conglomerate group. So I think it will be interesting if they can implement this agile portfolio management in their organizational strategy. Okay. Then we still have two more questions before we wrap up this session. So next one is from Alexander. How is the integration of AI and machine learning within the Agile methodology framework and their potential contribution to enhancing project outcomes?
Oh, that's a very hot topic
Yeah,
nowadays.
sure. Yeah.
Everybody's talking about artificial intelligence and how it's going to help with projects. So we are having hackathons to discover the impact nowadays in the current organization I work in. I'm not that familiar with machine learning, but what I definitely see the impact is like it's not really on Agile portfolio management, but it's on the work the developers are doing now, like code refactoring, like automated testing. So all of these processes where people needed to spend lots of time manually and like creating pull requests and also review the code, like 2 or 3 people at least need to review the code to make sure that there are no mistakes. So all of this can be run by artificial intelligence, and we can save time for the developers to do something more creative. So it means we are freeing their time to think about and to focus about the customers, because again, it's a challenge to shift their mindset from like being a coder and just focus on like numbers and think about the impact they're making. So that is a shift in the mentality and also shift in the creativity. So that is the impact I'm seeing right now. And I won't dare to speak about the future, but invite me in the 6 months and I will share more results from our hackathons.
Yeah. That's very hot topics right now, yeah, about the AI and also machine learning. So yeah, I think several months from now we can have a more interesting topic, yeah, coming from that area. Okay.
Yeah, and updated answers, because right now we are experimenting. Few months later, we will have our first results.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Then the last but not least, the last question from Riomas. In the PMXPO 2024 reports, Agile is used less frequently than hybrid and predictive in the construction industry. What do you think?
Yeah, I've read that report, and thank you very much for bringing up this question. So Agile has been on the market for a little bit more than 20 years, and it started as a movement. It started as an organizational change, and it started like down to top, from enthusiasts to bring the changes and don't care much about the promotion, etc. And then like any new idea is evolving. So from being a movement, it became a business. And now we have numerous certifications on Agile. Now we're having career paths. Like 10 years ago, nobody even thought about progress in their career. So when I was a Scrum Master, I was just passionate and enthusiastic of bringing changes. I didn't want to be VP or like any other levels. Nowadays, whoever I want to hire, one of the question is, what is my career progression? So you're hiring me as a Scrum Master role. So when I can become you as an Agile coach, and what is the next after the Agile coach? So what I'm trying to say, there is no pure Agile nowadays when it became business. So when you start thinking about career and like planning, so it's already kind of like hybrid approach, and that's why people are talking more about hybrid rather than pure Agile. And in construction industry, again, construction is predictable. So humans been doing construction for centuries, even more than centuries, for thousands of years. So what is unpredictable in construction? So first, it's tangible project. So we know that we need to deliver a garage or a building or Taj Mahal, but still it's something visible, it's something visible. And it's purely a project because we have the beginning and the end. We don't have bugs at the end. We don't continue working on, even if it's Taj Mahal, even though it's a big, beautiful project and it needs to be like refreshed from time to time, compared to the IT project when you deliver an application and you keep delivering new features, and it's kind of like project versus product. So in IT, we're working mainly on the product, and in construction, it's mainly the project. So I would agree that hybrid would be more productive for construction rather than pure Agile.
Sure. Thank you, Aina. I think we are reaching to the end of the session. So before we wrap up today's session, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to you, Aina, for sharing your expertise and insight with us. Your presentation has been truly enlightening and thought-provoking for us. I'd also like to express my gratitude to each and every one of you, our attendees, for your active participation, engaging question, and also valuable contribution throughout this prank session. We have around 160, 170 people joining the Saturday morning session. Incredible, because this is Saturday morning here in Indonesia. And so your enthusiasm and interest have made today's session a success. Yeah. So as we conclude, I encourage you to continue exploring the topic discussed today about Agile portfolio management and applying them to your work and daily lives. Remember that learning is an ongoing journey, and we hope to see you again in our future session. Thank you once again to Aina and also to our wonderful audience. Have a great day ahead. And I think before we close this meeting, let's go with the photo session, yeah? And it will be helped by, I think, Mas Rai. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
maybe if you can open your camera for one final photo session.
Okay.
Okay, if you have start, Mas
Yeah,
Dan?
already. Wait,
Okay.
there is 7 page. Wait. Second page. Okay, wait. Okay, last one. Okay, thank you.
Okay, good then. I think we can close this meeting. Thank you once again, Aina, for your
Thank you, Miss Aina. Thank
presentation.
you,
Have a great
Thank
day
you.
ahead and goodbye for
Asidik
now.
and PMS Chapter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aina.
Thank you, guys. It's getting
Thank you,
closer
Aina.
Thank you, Aina.
Thank you.
for the
Thank
big.
you, Aina.
Thank
See you again.
I feel very enthusiastic. Now I don't know
Thank
how to
you
go to bed.
for sharing.
Okay. Okay, so I think we can close this Zoom session. Yeah. Once again, thank you, Aina, for today's session. Thank you and bye-bye.
Yes, thank you very much. And let me know if you need my slides or anything else. I will be happy to share with the team.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, have a good morning and hope to collaborate with you again and one day to visit Indonesia in person.
Sure. We are waiting for you coming to Indonesia. Bye-bye.
Sounds like a okay. Take care.
Yeah.